a board for every interest. There's a board for everything you might be wanting to do. Some take a lot of time. Some don't take much time at all. Some of the agendas are this thick, others they're about this big. It all depends on what you are interested in. But you're not going to make the change if you're not involved in getting on some of those boards. It's important, and that's why we're opening this, because we have a lot of realtors in the room. In fact, we have one of the realtors who sits, Mr. Gary Boyer, on the city council here in Glendora. We have realtors involved in the day-to-day life of this community, and we thought it would be a great opportunity when the assembly member talked about doing this to open our building up. So we have. And we hope you'll find this informative tonight. We hope that you will find it something that spurs an interest in what you want to do. We appreciate the effort to be here tonight. And next on the agenda, and I don't think he knows I'm going to ask him to do that, but for the Pledge of Allegiance, we'd like to ask Councilmember Gary Boyer and a member of the Citrus Valley Board of Realtors to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Stand. We're going to go from here. Join me in the pledge to our flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will now bring forward the assembly member who represents our area, who helped coordinate all of this, who worked with their staff to get the people here so that each one of you has that opportunity to hear how to be appointed. Assemblywoman Blanca Rubio.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. One of the things that I noticed in Sacramento was that we have a lot of representatives from different communities. And when I started talking to my staff about how many folks we have from the 48th Assembly District, I think we have maybe one. I know he's appointed to the New Car Dealers Commission. There's a commission for that. And so I talked to staff about trying to recruit some of you to serve on those commissions. I would like to first acknowledge some of our elected officials that are here. I have Glendora Mayor Pro Tem Judy Nelson. Thank you, Judy, for being here. I've got Glendora City Council Karen Davis. Also on the Glendora City Council, Michael Allen. And of course, you already met Gary Boyer. We also have Urbanville Chamber of Commerce, Marlene Carney is here. Thank you, Marlene. And I have, some of my friends from Azusa Pacific University are here. I saw a couple of you, and I don't have everybody's name on here, so if you could just wait. My folks from Azusa Pacific. Thank you. The last time I was here was about 2 years ago. Actually, about 2 years ago during the debate before I was elected. And so thank you, Bill, for sponsoring and hosting us today, and the Citrus Valley Association of Realtors. Thank you for having us. But again, so let me go back to what we were talking about. We have today a representative from the Speaker's office. We have Xochitl Murillo, Office of the Speaker Anthony Brendan, who's here to assist us. Thank you. Process. So she will explain. We have 60 folders today, and I know there's at least 60 of you here. If you don't get a folder, please let us know. We'll pass out business cards so that you are, when you leave here, you're prepared to apply. So the process is a little bit like applying for college. You take your application, fill it out, and with a resume. But part of the process also requires that the assembly member or senator from the area do a letter of recommendation. And so that's why I'm excited to be here with you. My goal is to get at least 12 of you appointed. hopefully more. Now that I see this big room full, I think I undershot and said 12, and hopefully we can get a lot of you appointed. They are commissions that are appointed by the governor, but the way they work is some of you represent the areas here, but a lot of the commissions meet in Sacramento. They meet once a month, so part of the commitment is to be able to go to Sacramento and represent whatever commission you're on. Some of the commissions that I've been very excited about appointing is there's a commission for developmental disabilities, there's a commission for, there's a teacher commission, there's a realty commission. I told you about the New Car Dealers Association commission, but they range from veteran affairs, early childhood education, you name it, there's a whole gamut, and there's really thousands and thousands of positions that are available. And what I see is that a lot of them are blank because nobody applies. And so my goal is to first get you to apply to some of the commissions that you're interested in, but if something that you're interested in is already filled, I would like to encourage you to be involved in something else that you might be interested in. That way we have some representation from the San Diego Valley and specifically from the 48th Assembly District. Let's see, and I also have the overview of application, appointments and process. I have Rachel Michelin here, CEO of California Women's League, here to assist us. And so without further ado, I will call Rachel up to talk to you a little bit. We'll be here till about 8 to, again, hopefully you'll leave with a folder and motivated to apply for some of these commissions. So thank you, Rachel, if you can come up. Appreciate that.
I do want to thank the Assemblywoman. She was so gracious. In June, she came, we did an event with Girl Scouts. We had Girl Scouts up at the Capitol, and she just knocked it out of the park. Those girls were eating out of her hand, and such an inspiration, so thank you for doing that. So my name is Rachel Michelin. I'm the CEO of California Women League. We are a statewide, nonpartisan women's leadership association, and our mission is to increase the number of women, particularly in elected and appointed office. But I am really passionate about getting people engaged in civic participation. I'm a huge fan of the appointments process. We actually did a project starting 8 years ago with Governor Brown, then candidate Brown, and then women. We asked each of them to commit 50% of their appointees would be women. We went all over the state, recruited women, and in 2015 we hit our goal. Governor Brown hit the goal, 50% of his appointees are women. And we are now resurrecting that project, and I'm working with both of the gubernatorial candidates, and they both supported the project as well. So we're going to be doing a lot of trainings around the state. Before I start, anyone here appointed currently? No one? No? Not locally? Not locally? Local appointment? No? Local? What are you on?
Community Service Commission.
Oh, great. Anyone else? Local? Well, I'll start quickly about my experience. I'm an appointee. I started off doing this a few years ago, a couple years, well, it's been more than a few years. I was speaking to a group of folks in San Jose. I can still remember we were at the Marriott Hotel, and I was talking about why people should apply for a political appointment. And someone raised their hand and said, well, what are you appointed to? And I said, well, I'm not. And they said, well, how can you tell other people to do it if you're not going to do it yourself? Point well taken. So I went back. I live in El Dorado County, which is right outside of Sacramento, on the way up to Lake Tahoe. Right. And I decided I was going to try to fill out the application. I called friends and here's the deal from private security cards, because the licenses were both dependent on everything in this that we do, right?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, and I think to myself, all right, how do I say, right? What do you say to Governor Thomas? So I said, okay, I'd be happy to serve. And it was with any attorneys, all these standing attorneys. I spent 3 hours with attorneys from the state going over all the code sections related to private security guards. There's a lot. And I made a list. How do I get out of this? Right? I have my second child, I have a baby card, how am I doing this? This is not, you know nothing about me, but I can guarantee you probably know I have 0 private security experience in my life. So I said, okay, I'll give it 6 months. right? 6 years later, I was still on the board. I loved it. I loved it because it was kind of, I love law and order, right? It was like, I also like law and order. I learned about our civil process, our judicial process. I learned all how to read an arrest record. I didn't know how to do that. I learned from the record. I learned all kinds of things, but here's what I really learned. To trust my gut decisions. Because there were times where I had to have people and tell them, I'm sorry, I represented all of you in the public. I was a public member. And I thoroughly loved my time on that board. Then I decided to tell the governor's office, current governor's office, you know, Mona Pascal Rogers is the appointed secretary. She's a dear friend. We were at the Black Bear Diner in Fresno. I can still remember. We were on our way to Fresno to do an appointments training. And I said, you know, Mona, if you need me to serve, I'll serve. You need me to go somewhere else. A week later, Rachel, let's go have coffee. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Uh-oh.
We would love for you to consider serving on this. We really need you to be on this board. Okay. So lunch together. We didn't do legislation. It was appeals from private security guards. I go to the big leagues on the board of optometry. There's 11 board members. Our first meeting, one of the things that we work on as a passion of mine is comprehensive eye exams for children. This is will be our 4th time trying to get a bill through to not require, not mandate, to just put a form in the packet and the importance of getting an eye exam for the kids before they start school. I never thought I'd have a platform to do that, but I do as an appointee of the governor on the board of optometry. It is an amazing experience to serve as and one that each and every one of you should really consider, because you're. Any questions that kind of talked about my story? No? I don't think so. I'll keep going. Yeah, yeah.
To make sure I understand, there are X number of days and a month meeting in Sacramento?
So no, actually, so the states, when I got on the private security board, I didn't know at the time, once I got on, I found out, I thought, what's the time commitment, right? Oh, you're gonna meet twice, once a quarter in Sacramento. Okay, I'll do that, no big deal. Then I got appointed. Then it's, oh, we forgot to tell you. I always know that's bad. The state's 2 years behind in hearing appeals. So we need you to meet, we were meeting every month for almost 3 days. Now luckily I have a board, they were okay with it. But to your point, typically boards, my optometry board, we meet once a quarter for 1 day, all over the state. So one in San Diego, one time it's in LA, San Francisco, Bay Area, and then Sacramento. What happens is when you're on a board, you can dictate. So we could say we all want to meet in Sacramento. I don't recommend that because part of your job is to be accessible to the public. Exactly. And we actually try to get to other places. I will tell you, when I got on the private security board, they would only meet in Sacramento. I started seeing a lot of the people were coming from the Bay Area, particularly Oakland, and I said, why aren't we meeting out there? We shouldn't be making members of the public come to Sacramento. So it varies on what board you serve on. But that's an important thing to consider. If you choose to go down the process of seeking an appointment, you really want to make sure you can make the time commitment. Because if you're not there, your voice is missing. And there are thousands of people who apply. It's truly an honor to serve. So those are questions you want to ask through the process. Any other questions? Yeah.
Are there any educational requirements for these positions to hold these positions?
Good questions. Depends on what board you're on. So typically under the Department of Consumer Affairs, as we get a lot of your regulatory boards, so your medical board, your nursing board, those types of things. On my board, we have 11 members. 5 have to be licensed optometrists in the state of California.
Right.
5 of us are public members, meaning I or anyone in my immediate family can have nothing to do with the practice of optometry. and then we have one person who's a registered dispensing optician. So every board does, most of them have a mix between licensees and then also public members. Some of them, particularly for the governor, and I know you're going to hear from the speaker's office, so the speaker of the assembly and the pro tem senate also have appointments. Theirs are almost always public members, meaning anyone from the public can serve. So one of the things I encourage people, and what I can do if you're interested, I will forward vacancy list. The governor's office puts out a vacancy list, maybe once a quarter. These are boards the governor is looking to appoint to now because there's a vacancy. The interesting thing now, we're kind of in a weird period because we have a governor who is getting ready to leave, and then we'll have a new governor coming in. So typically, and every administration does this, the governor will hold appointments they give to their staff as they kind of go out. Sometimes he'll appoint, he may not appoint to some boards just because they run out of time. And then the new governor will come in. In California, typically, once you apply with an administration, meaning if you apply with the Brown, so I was appointed under Schwarzenegger, right? I filled out the application with Schwarzenegger, even though it's the exact same application, just a different name at the top, I had to fill out the application again, right? Because what'll happen is once the new governor takes over, they archive all of the Governor Brown, which I think is a good idea, because then the new governor can start fresh, as opposed to having all these who may or may not want to serve under this the new administration. Any other questions? Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
I was to assist from Los Angeles City Council on different events, and I wanted to be a part of this, but in the resume, you said, well, we'll just put it on the top. We don't know if you'll be selected. As a journalist, I covered Congresswoman Grace Napolitano. I worked for the Met News and covered Los Angeles Superior Court. And I would apply, but I would never, so how is the selection? How did it get to you?
Did you apply with the governor or locally?
Locally.
Locally, okay. In Los Angeles? City of LA? Okay. City of LA, City of San Francisco, they are their own political animals, typically when it comes to appointments. And a lot of times, it's much more political.
Yeah.
So really, if you want to serve in kind of those entities, you've got to just develop, it's like running for office. You're running a campaign to get appointed. The governor, in particular, a lot of it, they look to see, a lot of times Governor Brown, in particular, I can speak more to his administration, I'm not knowing who the new governor will be, but they look for diversity on the boards. They look for diversity geographically. They're speaking that there's not, she's absolutely right. It's usually still Sacramento, San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego. So they really can try to get people from other parts of the state. And a lot of times they're looking for people. One of the secrets, in my opinion, for the governor's process, I've seen people who will say to me, I only want to be on. And I look at them, let me know how it turns out. Because typically, unless the governor is calling you specifically because he's got, and if you're at that level where the governor is going to call you and ask you to serve on a board, typically they don't do that. And by the time you've applied, even with the vacancy list, they're already down the road and doing interviews, or the speaker or the pro tem appoints to is in state statute, takes a bill. And I think there was a bill issue. I think they made up another one. And it also takes a state statute to get rid of a board. So if you remember years ago, Schwarzenegger was going to blow up boxes. And then once he blew up the boxes, he realized he still needed the legislature to vote to move those boxes out. And that didn't happen. So it does do that. So sometimes you will see on the vacancy list boards the governor doesn't appoint to. And those typically are boards that he just doesn't think, at least this governor, should be in existence. The other key thing with particularly Governor Brown is I always say, how much do they get paid? Right? We always hear about the $150,000 boards and all of that. Governor Brown actually wanted to get rid of all of those. That takes an act of the legislature. And if you look and see who's on those boards, it's typically members, turned out members of the legislature. But typically I get paid $100 a day that I'm serving. It's a per diem. You're not gonna make money serving as an appointee. When I travel on behalf of the board, they pay my travel.
Okay.
I get per diem for food. It doesn't cover food though, you know, my $6 doesn't even really cover coffee if I'm in San Francisco. But you know, it's about public service. So typically it's $100. You do have to fill out a Form 700, a financial disclosure form. I have to do sexual harassment training, ethics training, and then the new one recently, defensive driver's training. That I had to do because we rent cars, and I was hoping I could like count that towards traffic school, because it's, you know, it's like traffic school that doesn't work in the state. But those are some of the trainings that you do. Department of Consumer Affairs does trainings as well. There's another question. Yes?
Vacancies.
The challenge there becomes conflict. Do the boards, you know, is there any type of conflict? Yeah. The biggest piece of that is to make sure, you know, particularly if you work for someone, to make sure you let your employer and that they're going to give you the time off. I have talked with all the way up to general counsels of major companies to talk about why it's better to have your employees participate in this process. But you want to make sure you do it ahead of time. There was a woman I knew who didn't, got appointed, and the boss said, well, you're going to take vacation time. And she's like, well, I'm not going to take vacation time to, you know, do this. I'm going to go on vacation. So she just never showed up to her board meeting.
Oh.
So, you know, it's things like that that you really want to make sure it's okay with your employer, that you can take the time. And a lot of times it's once a quarter, very like that. Some only meet once every 6 months. Any other questions? Yeah.
Really quick, you said they take your background into effect, so like if I'm a former police officer or a current teacher, would they say, oh, we can be on a teacher board, or they just say, oh, like you, didn't sound like you got anything, you had any background. So I just.
It depends on what you want to do. I mean, I was kind of like, put me anywhere. I enjoy learning new things. I enjoy the process. They could say, do you want to be on something that's related to public safety? I mean, it's a process, so you do get to have a say. You can say, you know, I worked with a woman who got appointed to a water board years ago. Well, her business was a land use consultant. Well, so she either had to quit her job to take the appointment, or we went back and said, she said, I can't do this because of conflict, so they put her on a different board. So a lot of times, if you get up to that process where they're really considering you for something and it doesn't fit, then, you know, a lot of times they might push you on something else. And a lot of times you have to do your own due diligence. A lot of these meetings, like the Board of Optometry, if you're ever bored, because I know you all are, and you want to watch us in action, you can. All of our meetings are online. So you can go and watch. You can watch a lot of these meetings. You can download the agendas, the minutes, all the stuff that these boards do, and help you make a decision. Because maybe there's a board that you're considering, and you look at it and you're like, oh, that's not really what I want to do, but this is interesting to me, and you can always bring that up with them. They want to make sure you're somewhere where you're going to be happy, because the last thing they want is you not to be happy, and then you don't want to serve. So they want you to get something out of it. Any other question? Yeah.
Do any of the residency restrictions on in what district you need to be living in?
There's a couple. I know there's some like LA boards, like the Memorial Auditorium. I think you know, there's some specific boards in specific areas. There's some boards where, like the fair boards, you have to obviously live in the county that you're going to be on that particular fair board on. Some of them have, like they can only take one person from this area of the state, one person from that area. So there are some. Most of them, and particularly a lot of them, like I said, are under the consumer affairs, where they're regulatory boards over licensees. Those are typically statewide. They just like to divide it up to make sure there's equal representation. Yes?
Duration of appointments.
So mine is 4 years. If you're on the UC Board of Regents, it's 12 years.
Wow.
So you're there for a long time. Most of them are 4 years. Some are pleasure appointments, meaning that you're there at the pleasure of the governor. So when the new governor comes in, the pleasure might be over. So, if you work for the governor, so anyone who works for the governor is appointed as well. So when you talk about paid appointments, there's the staff appointments. They're all pleasure appointments. Typically, you're going to see a senior staff, all of his aides, they typically resign when the new administration comes in. Some of the department heads and all, they stay until the new governor decides what they're going to do. Yes?
So who does the reviewing of the applications and things like that specifically? Is the governor's staff, or is there a committee? Is there information out of the public?
Oh, no. So, what is, you go to the governor's website, www.gov.ca.gov, and there's an appointments tab, and there's the application. And you fill out the application. It's confidential. I highly recommend if you're interested in applying, even now, and I still encourage people to apply to the Brown administration because you never know what could happen. But make sure you keep your application, you print it, because like I said, it'll probably be exactly the same, but with a different name. Once you hit send, you can't get your application back, right? It goes off to the governor's office. They will start then to review it. There are 5 deputies that work under the governor. They will look at it. They have a whiteboard. It's constantly moving. They're, when people are going to get, they will start calling. You'll go through a series of interviews. Your first interview is typically with one of the deputies to find out what you're interested in. So to your point, if you know that's where you could say, well, I'm a teacher, I'm a public student, and whatever that might seem interesting. After that, they'll start seeing if there's something that might fit. Then you'll typically interview. In my case, I interviewed with the Department of Consumer Affairs, with the Bureau for Security Investigative Services, and then also with the executive officer of the board. And a lot of times it's why do you want to serve, can you make the time commitment, those types of things. At the same time, they're asking you to submit letters of recommendation. So you need to start pulling those together. Mm-hmm. They don't need 50 million. They need 3 to 5 thoughtful, unique letters. So they're having people who get the form letters and turn them in, and that is, they don't care how many. They want to make sure that they are people who can talk to your leadership, how you get along well with others, your commitment to public service. It's not the best time. It's really not focused on appointments. It's focused on signing and detailing bills in the legislature. So right now, they're probably not doing, they might be releasing names because they already made the appointments and they're strategically releasing them. But typically, they'll sit down and they'll go over original appointments and have conversations. This governor has been known to call people, like call them up and why do you want to serve, that type of thing. And then eventually, should you get appointed, you'll get a phone call. The governor would like to appoint X. And then you have to keep it quiet because it's the privilege of the governor announces it. And there have people who are I'm going to put it on Facebook. And it puts out. So it's perfect. And so they'll make the announcement. They'll do a press release. They always list the ages. We've been trying to say, really, you have to list everyone's age. But they list your age, your political party, a little bit of your background. You get to prove it ahead of time, but that's kind of how the process works. And then you have to be sworn in. So someone swears you in. You take the oath, same oath that a member of the legislature takes. You take that same oath, and then you get started serving as an appointee. Any other questions? Yes.
Is the interview face-to-face or is it over Skype or?
It's totally up to you. Your final interview is always with Mona Pascal Rogers, the appointment secretary. I encourage people the state won't pay for you to fly to Sacramento, but I always say if you can get up there, go, because you get to go in the horseshoe in the governor's office, in her office, and you're right down the hall from the governor. and you have that interview. But she'll do FaceTime, she travels, so if she happens to be down in your area, she'll set up a bunch of interviews. Typically, the interviews with the other folks are via phone, and you can do FaceTime if you wanted to. It's just kind of up to you. Yes, and I'll come to you.
Is there a list of committees that you could look at and identify?
I can send you a vacancy list. On the governor's website, every single appointment he makes. You don't want to look at that list. Because you will look at it, your eyes will gloss over, and you'll hit the little X and you won't go back. So I will make sure to send to the Assemblywoman's office the vacancy list. And those are the boards that they're kind of looking at filling it right now.
Well, not necessarily a vacancy list, but just the committees, so this way you can identify these committees and find out if your, strength matches these committees.
You can, I mean, it's on his website, there's a lot.
Okay.
And so typically, you get a good feel just by looking at the vacancy list, and then those are ones that you might have a shot at getting on. So that's why I just recommend the vacancy. I mean, you can go right now on his website and look at every single one. It's just a lot of information. Yes?
Women's League. What role do you play? You're not the government. You're
No.
a nonprofit.
Nonprofit.
So group. How do you help?
How do I help?
On your
I do
group.
a lot of coaching. A lot of times people will come to a training and it's a lot of information, especially if they've never heard it before. And then I get a lot of emails after. You're welcome to email me, but I help provide some insight. I'll get lists. Let's just be honest. I'll get someone. I want to be on the UC Board of Regents.
Do you have males?
Yeah. It's not going to happen, right? I'm very pragmatic. I do not want you to fail. I will give you my honest opinion. Film commission, not going to happen. That's highly competitive. So I try to help people. The other way I do things is that I get calls from the governor's office who will say, we're looking for this type of person. So they're not fun, because I think it's so important that we have just that diversity of voices serving on all of these different boards. Any other questions?
When you talk about time commitment, and you said some of our quarterly, you ended up quarterly and ended up in monthly. But other than those particular meetings,
Or I would choose. What happens though, after you've served it, you start to get the groove, you start to figure out, how to hear what my colleagues have to say about it, appreciate it. Those are questions that you go to ask. And like I said, if the governor's office is talking to you about a specific board, and they're interested in the board of optometry, you can go to the website and you can see everything. All of our agendas, minutes, everything's on the website. So you can kind of get a sense of what we're talking about and how long our meetings are. And then you can decide if that's kind of what you want to do. But it's not overwhelming. And then, I chair the Life Rights Committee. We're right now hiring a new executive officer. I chair the search committee. I'm on the executive committee. So part of it is how much time you want to put into it as well. Some of my colleagues just show up every quarter, and that's what they do. Any other questions? Well, I know you're here from the speaker's office, and the speaker's office, the pro tem, and the those are kind of your three sides to this process. But I really hope you'll consider applying. It's a phenomenal experience to serve. I've done this for many, many years, and I've yet to have someone say, why didn't you ever tell me or encourage me to do this? It's a great way to get back to your community. You meet people from all over the state. You deal with issues pertaining to the state. We interact with the legislature. You really start to see in a small way you're making an impact. And I just really hope you'll think about it. And like I said, there's still time to apply with Governor Brown, which I highly recommend. But make sure you keep your application, because that way you don't have to do all that work again when the new governor comes into town. And we are doing a project where we're collecting resumes, and we'll present resumes. And even when we did the project with Governor Brown, we had a supplemental list, and we had male candidates and resumes that we forwarded as well. So you can always come and our application, we just, basically it's your resume. And we kind of say, here's a bunch of places that you can start if people that want to serve. Yeah.
And so you mentioned when you started, we're in a limbo period because the government term is up.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna have a new governor. So should we be in an election on the 5th? Do we apply for positions between November and December or wait till January to?
For the new governor?
Right.
So,
A more timely.
yeah, so the official application, so a lot of those appointments come down, usually in June and January are the big months for appointments, because usually the first big wave of appointments the new governor will make to kind of these volunteer boards that we're talking about is going to be in June. So like, for instance, the only vacancy on the board of Optometry, my term is in June 2019. I have to choose do I because I have to reapply with the new administration. And then January is kind of the next big month that a lot of because we now go on 12, but I think we can get more. And definitely consider when the new administration comes in, because there'll be opportunities there as well.
Can you give me your website one more time?
www.cawomenlead.org. My email is just Rachel, RACHEL, @cawomenlead.org. And just feel free to email me anytime, and I'm happy to help you, because I really do think it's an incredible privilege, really, to serve. And I would say I've gotten more out of serving than I give. So thank you for having me. Thank you for hosting me.
Thank you very much. I wanted to also point out, we do have what we call the senior legislators. These are senior citizens that serve basically like the legislators, and they go one thing and you're like, well, I want to change that. And so part of the boards also include getting members to sponsor a piece of legislation that you would like to see. And we do have another appointment. He's not here today, but he's my representative in the 48th Assembly Administrator. He usually comes, but he's not here today. But anyway, so I speak to him on a regular basis. He's like, well, and so next, I would like to introduce Associate from the Office of the Speaker, Emily Rendon, and she's going to talk to you about the overview for the Speaker's appointment. So thank you so much for being here.
All right, thank you, Assemblywoman Rubio, and to all of you that are here tonight. Rachel, I love your story. So a lot of the questions Rachel answered crossed into the speaker's appointments. And once you do get the call, make sure to say yes, no matter what. Because there is a lot of opportunities out there, however, we also have an ever-changing list. The speaker's end, because it's a public appointment, those appointments tend to go really fast. So we have a list already, because sometimes we share the list, and then next thing you know, a few weeks later, the list has changed, and some of the vacancies have been filled. What I want to say on behalf of the speaker, he wants to make sure, just like he's one member, a lot of your local electeds here, those that are serving on the board of commission locally and statewide already, we want to make sure that we have diverse pool in our state boards and commissions. And a diverse pool of geography, gender, you name it. Right? And we want to face to our state boards and commissions. We want to make sure that you go out there and you apply. Steps you want to take to make yourself a more qualified candidate, because you are competing with others. Look at it as, if I'm going to apply, I'm going to first have something to do. So I'm going to take the application and I'm going to fill out as much as I can. Because if you're already looking into applying, you're passionate about serving, you want to make sure that you get that application in. And I say that because it's that background process that takes a little bit long, a few months, maybe 3, maybe 6. And gentleman over here was my buddy at the table, asked about how long can you wait to apply and gather your information. I would say on the governor's end, for example, you want to start gathering your references now. You want to start gathering those letters of recommendation now. That way when a few months ahead come come in and you want to submit your application, you're ready to go, right? So we also have the capacity to take applications online. In your folder, you'll see your hard copy application. I like to write mine out and then submit it online, just to make sure I'm checking off all the boxes. There's about 18 questions in the application, so don't be scared. Towards the back too, there is a background information sheet, and this kind of helps us sort out through the background check. So I come out here and I do all the outreach, and then separately in our office, we have a consultant that's in charge of doing the background checks. So it's two of us there, and depending on the subject. So, when we get your application, one of the items that was mentioned was the references and letters of recommendation. You can submit your application without your letters of recommendation because we don't want to delay your application. We want to make sure that we get you in our system, that we start doing a background check, so that when a vacancy is available, comes around, we can get you in there right away. And as Rachel mentioned,